Yo, what's going on, Pod family? Average Guys Podcast featuring average guys like me and like you trying to make better lives for ourselves and for the people we love. I got a few things to cover today, man, so y'all stay tuned, man. We sitting here getting loaded, man, trying to get that reloaded, get back to Illinois. So yeah, man, I got a little time on my hands. Your boy been working hard, man. I came through the snow. Man, it's been wild out here, man. But anyway, we got a few topics to discuss today, man, so y'all stay tuned.
We're staring at the end, but I will not give in.
All right, fellas, ladies, if you're listening, what's going on with you, man? Hey, so like, man, look here, the first thing I want to discuss, man, so I made this podcast, man. I'm trying to figure out, right, how to get the black community back on track, how to get American society back on track. We're not getting married, families aren't staying together, the children stand to benefit when the family is together. And right now, you see what's going on, man. Education levels plummeting, employment rates plummeting, multiple family house incomes going to separate housing complexes, facilities for people to live. Is ridiculous, man. I mean, we just can't seem to get it together. We can't seem to find a way to love, care, and protect one another as men and women should. And I've got a few different ideas about how that should go. But first and foremost, man, the reason I made this channel is really, I call it the Average Guys Podcast, and I call it that for a reason. The channel was made so that I could properly educate men, probably get my message out there, right? Get my message out there to men and to women, right? So that women and men alike can better understand what some of the guys in the society that actually keep this shit running feel about the way we should communicate with one another, the things that we expect of one another as men. You understand? The ways that men should interact and behave with women, the ways men should interact and behave with children, the ways men should interact and behave amongst each other. That's why I started this channel. See, there was a lot of things going on in my life that I didn't quite understand, right? A lot of relationships that were failing, right? I discussed relationships with people real close to me, and I don't really like to put my business out there like that. Not for my sake, because I honestly don't give a damn, but it's for their sake. I don't want to embarrass anyone. I don't want to shame anyone. However, there have been situations in my life with people that are very close to me, particularly women, that I've had issues with in my life, and I blame myself. I thought it was me, as any true empathetic individual would do. The first thing you're going to do is wonder, have I done something wrong? I spent the majority of my life doing this very thing. Was it me? Several relationships, men, seldomly men, and women alike. Okay? So at the end of the day, what I did was I went and started doing research, right? Stumbled upon this whole red pill community. Stumbled upon the second person right after an Islamic scholar. I don't know if he's a scholar, but he's like the same thing as a rabbi or a priest, but the Islamic version. I can't remember what you call it. I'll put that in the comment section or right here. So an Islamic scholar, and he first guy I stumbled upon when I Googled disrespectful, woman. Okay? Disrespectful woman, let's just say. Okay, and I'm not talking about my wife. Disrespectful woman is what I typed into, I believe, YouTube. First thing I get was an Islamic man, which he described how they would handle the situation. The second YouTube video suggested to me after searching that, Kevin Samuels. So I click it. Here's a black man here to educate, right, and teach. So I go in and I pay attention to this brother. Now he's got all the credentials. The brother is well dressed, articulate as all hell. He's got money from what I can tell. I didn't Google his net worth as some of you guys did, but he's a multi-millionaire at the time of when I discovered him, which would have been about 3 years ago. So 1 year prior to his death, his untimely damn death. Sad we lost that brother. And this brother came on and he described to me, "Hey, young man, you see, this is the kind of woman." At this time, he's interviewing women because he done the whole critiquing men and building men up thing. And then the way he describes it is, these men couldn't find women. So now he's on to women. And what he had been doing for the past, I believe, year, maybe two, after I found out about him, or I found out about 2 years after he began doing this, he was having women call in, and these women, and just asking them basic questions. Kevin Samuels got famous because he didn't take shit from modern women. He got famous for that. Oh, he'll cuss your ass out too. Don't call him his show tripping. You give him that negative bullshit energy that you used to give me in high school and all the rest of the fellas that were what y'all called lame and all this kind of. He wasn't having that shit. So what he showed me and what he continually told me and taught me throughout that period when I was learning, and again, my search came from, I felt like I've been being disrespected by the women that I cared about the most in my life. Women I would lay it all out there on the line for. This does not include my wife at this time, right? Though we've had our marriage is not in fact perfect, but I'm not specifically describing her. These are other women that are close to me in my life, and I felt disrespected by these individuals. This is why I search this man up. And he's telling fellas like me, you don't have to take it. You're too good for it. He described, and then he got on to describing what the type of man is that doesn't have to take that shit. Actually, no man has to take that shit. But especially what he considered a high-value man. Now, in describing a high-value man, there were a few criteria that some of us, including myself, don't yet qualify and feel. For instance, the influence of other men and so on and so forth. There were things like that. Income, I got that knocked out. As far as women calling in, I make more than enough money to satisfy whatever they. Family man, I've proven I've been with the same woman 12, 13 years. Got married 9 years ago. So, got kids had kids prior to marrying her. So there's no strangeness like, oh, you just married me because I had your child. She doesn't have to worry about that. So she married before she carried. I've loved her. All of our children are in common and under the same roof. We have no outside children, either of us. I take care of 100% of the bills in my house. Now, you would think this would qualify me to sit at the table and speak to some of these modern women. Fellas, it does not. Why? And that leads me to the topic of discussion today. Some of these women are unsalvageable. Some of them they go the way of Sodom and Gomorrah, and they're gonna be like Lot's wife. And I'm not even scriptural, but that's the first thing come to mind. I've been watching a lot of Jordan Peterson. He's been talking about the Bible. But yeah, a lot of these women are gonna get left behind because they can't let go of the old ways. Right? What that particular story was describing was a vindictive nature, but it's worse than that in our community right now. They cannot let go of the control that society has given them, that simp culture has really bestowed upon these modern women, so they feel so inclined to where they can just talk shit. You can't. Here's another reason you can't say to a guy like me that, oh, you don't like black women. It ain't that. My wife's black. my daughter darker than most of y'all. I don't know how that happened, being that I'm light skinned as well, but she's my kid. I got dark skin in my family, but anyway, and so does my wife. But the point still stands. That's my child. That's a little black girl. The darkest of dark, the most beautiful, right? And you can't say I don't love black women. In fact, on my channel, what I'm trying to preach to men is how to put themselves in a position where we can take care of whatever woman we choose. Because I'm not specifically advocating for black women at all. Marry whatever, fellas, listen closely. Marry whatever makes you happy. Marry whatever satisfies the criteria that you lay forth, that you set out, that you set in place. Marry whatever fits the description that you create as to what a wife is. You marry that. I'm not gonna tell you, and they'll sit there and say the black community will fizzle out. I mean, maybe in looks, we might get lighter and lighter and lighter until you can no longer tell that we came from an African slave heritage. Okay, so be it. But I'm still in that bloodline. I'm still in that gene pool. Are you? You marry what's going to be most successful and most profitable, man. That's going to put you at peace. Don't marry one of these headaches of a woman. Which leads me into this. Check this. I'm gonna let y'all read this real quick. I'm not gonna go into detail, so y'all go ahead and read this. Right, now you see at the end of that message thread, after I said what I said, hey, at the end of the day, let's check the credentials. A lot of women that act that way toward me, man, these are the types of females that, hey, man, we got to leave that shit behind. There's no room for that in the future, man. That shit's dead. If you're going to take care of a female, she can't be popping off at the mouth, having absolutely nothing to fucking say. This is what we've been dealing with, though, fellas. See, that's the type of female that'll piss you the hell off. These are the type of women that'll get mad at you in a marriage because you're not doing what they want you to do. They'll take your damn kids. They'll take them and go on up. Look, man, I'm pretty sure, now I don't know this woman's backstory, but she fits the demographic, and I'm going to just take a wild stab at this shit, right? That she's probably a baby mama. She's probably unhappy. I guarantee she's overweight, and et cetera, et cetera. Now, I'm not going to go off and look at her Facebook page and put all that out there like that. But the fact of the matter is that's what type of demographic we deal with. These women have made their mistakes. They've done their thing. You're supposed to just love me no matter how I look. To them it don't matter how they look, but to us it does. You're supposed to a man's supposed to want me. I'm the catch, but ma'am, you got children by another guy. What the hell? I'm not even starting fresh. You're already up into 30 or close to it or above. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to start with a fresh young woman that's gonna not have all of that mental baggage dragging along with it to make her rude like that. I mean, the first thing the girl says was, "This conversation is weird." What did Kevin Samuels always say about that, man? Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be fucking right. That falls under the shaming category. They did that shit. Women like that did that shit to me throughout my entire life. This is the reason for the search. This is the reason for the red pill. This is why guys like Kevin Samuels exist. This is why Rollo Tomasi's famous. This is why Fresh and Fit work. This is why the most famous red pill guy in the world right now is Andrew Tate, and they trying to shut him down because all these technicalities about what they call human trafficking, which I am avidly against, but I don't believe that's what that brother did. These are the type of men that they got famous, right, for speaking this rhetoric, and they're notorious and now hated for exposing women like that. Pop on have nothing to add except to try to shame me out of speaking my fucking mind. Ain't that nuts? But see, ladies, the time has come. Your reign is over. It's done. It's kind of like, do y'all remember that movie Revenge of the Nerds? Do y'all remember that movie where the nerds came back? And man, look, it's a hilarious movie. I barely remember because I watched it when I was so young, so many years ago. But the nerds, hey, we're here. We're here to stay. Right? See, it's funny because I'm not gonna say, well, no, I was raised with my father in my house. A lot of this came from the things I was taught, the things I was shown, based on, like I said, I had my dad in my life. I gotta give a lot of it to him. However, a lot of this stuff was imposed upon me. A lot of the drive and ambition and motivation y'all see, a lot of the confidence that y'all see, that stuff has been molded by modern women throughout my entire life. I've dealt with this type of behavior. It's nothing new to me. It's nothing new to you fellas. It's not. Hey man, leave them behind, right? It's funny because I was telling my wife, so me and my wife have a laugh at women just like this. We laugh at them, and so I sent some of that to her, and I was just trying to tell her, I was like, hey, look, it's funny how family-oriented women with the caveat, this is the nuance, right? Family-oriented women that are married to ambitious men, they think I'm hilarious. They love me. We get along just fine. High fives and hugs. They come over for dinner. We met a new set of friends. We love them to death. My neighbors. Absolutely. And we're having a great time with them. It's the first time in a while that I've had friends because, here it is. Y'all ain't gonna like what I've got to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The black community ain't treated me too nice. It's usually when I step outside, and I don't really step outside. I've been, because of the popular media bullshit, it builds that, it kind of creates a uneasiness with other races inside of the black man's mentality, right? You're gonna imagine that they're automatically racist, but they're not. And so when these people approach me, right, and it's one of the first times I've had legitimate friends in a long time, and these people are great people, and they think I'm hilarious, they think I'm funny, and guess what? They don't vote blue. Funny, right? And then now, anyway, so you see an exodus of black men away from the church, away from the Democratic Party, because it feeds that slave mentality that's got so many of y'all stuck in place. Ladies and gentlemen alike, it's got y'all stuck in place. all that same rhetoric. This is the shit we grew up with. But the women like the one that I just described, family-oriented, married women, they like me. We get along just fine. You know who doesn't? Let's go down the list. If a woman's single, probably not gonna like me. Unless she's young. Then she might like me. Then, but you're a single woman and you somewhere between, let's just say, put it like this. I got this thing. I actually, Leonardo, what's his name, DiCaprio, who won't date a woman over 25. Like, matter of fact, he breaks up with women when they hit that age. And I don't know how old he is. He's older than me, right? I'm 33. I wouldn't date a woman over 25. I understand him. I get it. And you know why? Because by that time, they've either had a child and they're jaded. Because some man done hurt them. Somebody done something wrong to them. Right? They done dealt with some inferior guy who doesn't have the ambition to come out here and take care of a family, or he didn't at the time, and she didn't want to stick with it. Now she feels like, oh, I'm better than this and that, and the culture teaches her that. So yeah, look, women between 25 and let's just say 35, single, oh no, we're not gonna get along. They don't like me, right? Because independent girl power, we can have babies whenever we want to have them, and we can do all this, that, and the third, and we this and that, or I'm the catch and I'm the prize. Okay, bet. So no, but I wouldn't deal with it. They don't like me. A woman that, let's say, baby mamas, there it is. Baby mamas that have left their baby daddy, they don't like me. We don't man, we do not get along. And I'm talking about these can be the closest people to you. These people can be like family. You dig what I'm saying? I don't get along with them. It's not my fault though. It's not my fault. Dude, I'm just as polite and kind, but it's because I tell people that, let me talk to the men. Men that don't fuck with me, these are the types of guys that when you call them out, tell them, hey, your family is falling apart and it's your fault. Your family's falling apart and it's your fault. Or, I mean, you're not getting no females and that's your fault. They don't like me. Why? Why do people like this not care for people like me? Because I hold you accountable. People won't even pick the phone up and call me sometimes. Why? Because I hold you accountable. That's what I'm here for. Listen, it is my moral opinion that, hold on. It is my moral opinion. That was my wife calling me. I had to put her on hold because I gotta finish this off. Look, it's my moral opinion that, God, she done threw me off. It's my moral opinion. God damn it, she done threw me off. What I was saying, it's my moral opinion that it's a man's job, duty, moral obligation, in fact, right? Moral obligation to tell people the truth. If someone is doing something that could harm them or doesn't quite align with the goals that the person you're speaking with has set in place, it is your duty to at least provide free and intimate counsel. I had a brother call me this morning, man. He's a truck driver. He was dealing with a situation, man, where he's kind of getting down on his luck. Now, I say down on his luck, I mean, truth be told, the brother sat around too long and waited on his money to get. Like, we're all guilty of that at times, man. We get real comfortable at that house when that money get looking good, but we don't realize we need to put that pedal to the floor and keep it pushing for the hard times that may or may not come. Which is why I'm out here kicking ass right now, trying to get back out of some shit. And we've all, real talk, the trucking industry is down right now at this time, and you have to work your ass off to stay in the game, pretty much. Okay, so he's struggling. Brother calls me. Now, if he calls me, what am I supposed to do? Ignore this man? No, I start asking him real intimate shit, real intimate details. I start telling him, hey man, you know, what you got going on? I'm digging into his finances. How much you making a week doing what you're doing right now? What's the situation with your unit and why can't you get that back up and running? How's your family situation, man? Could you afford to come out here and be out here 6, 7, 8 weeks like I'm doing to get yourself out the hole? What's it gonna be like with your kids? Your situation with your baby mamas? Are y'all on good terms? Can you make something happen? Can you make something shake? You know what I'm saying? I have to get in depth and in detail, right? If people don't necessarily like it unless they ask for it. But watch this. If I had asserted myself over this guy, he says his trouble started about September last year. Now, if I had picked up the phone and called him and did the same thing, went through the process, hey man, what you got going. Could you get out here? If I told him, well, hey, you've been sitting around for too long. Now, if I'd done that back then, he maybe wouldn't be in the situation he's in right now. I fall victim to it as well. I've been conditioned to keep my mouth shut. Folks walk away. It's not my fault, it's y'all's fault. I could help so many more people if folks would just get fucking man up. Women too, woman up. I could do so much better for y'all, but see, y'all don't want to listen, which is why I created this podcast. Listen to me in your leisure. Like, subscribe, and share. Hey, because it don't make me no difference. I'll just speak my shit off into the internet. Because that's all y'all fucking listen to any damn way. TikTok done took over. All y'all females. I see women my age on here dancing and shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. It's not how a grown-ass woman's supposed to behave. Y'all ladies about this age supposed to be married by now. Right here shimmying around on, come on, man. And I'm seeing, I'm trying not to be silly and disrespectful and shit out this bitch. Because ultimately, I really want the world needs to move differently. I'm seeing a lot of females, I've seen these women self-promoting themselves, right? And truth be told, there's a lot of women out there doing, let's say, good work, if you will, as far as entertainment is concerned, right? So I'm not speaking on by my metric, right? But by my metric, a woman's doing good work when she's a fucking mom and she's taking care of her children and she's loving her husband and she's providing nourishment and affection to the individuals around her and helping to build family units. Which, shout out to mommy, I appreciate everything you've been doing as far as our connection with our new friends and family members and things that we've been united with. I hope you continue doing that. That is extremely helpful, because I'm not very socially accepted, I guess you could say. But we appreciate, and that's what women are for. But by society's metric, these women are doing well, right? These women are out there and they're getting in, they're in the gym. They're not necessarily getting in shape, but they're hitting the weights at least. So there's an attempt there. Look at my keto video, ladies, if you want to lose weight. Okay, anyway, so but they're trying, right? So they go out there and they're working out. They're getting noticed. They're shaking their little rump and stuff on TikTok and all this stuff, in the shorts and all that, the short videos, clips and all that stuff. So they're getting attention and they're posting this stuff on Facebook, and then people are coming to them for, like, let's say, promotional things. Like, one of the girls is she messed around in, I think she was on a video for some rapper. She was in a music video, right? But then she made a post today that was quite concerning. She says, I am finding myself less interested in everything right now. That was alarming to me. This is a friend of mine. This is somebody I worked with way back when. And, that was alarming to me. It was concerning. And why should she feel that way? She's doing what everything society says she should, right? The girl's probably a couple years younger than me. She's out there getting it in. She's grinding. She's hustling. But she's finding no fulfillment. If you look into what she said, right? I'm not interested in anything. What is one of the major signs of depression? Yeah, the depression rate is going up in women. We're noting there's a notable there's documentation regarding the fact that women are reporting more cases than ever of suicidal thought. I believe it's 33% of women, which is interesting because that's about the same percentage of men who are not having sex in the past year or are virgins. So basically, yeah, let's lump that all together. Any man who hasn't had sex in the past year, 33% of men. Those numbers add up, because maybe those sets of people should get together and fulfill each other in a way that is not superficial. Ladies, I mean, truth be told, the reason you want a man that makes over, let's say, $40,000, $50,000 a year, most women report. Watch Kevin Samuels episodes, guys. Most ladies call in and report, I want a man that's making over $100,000. The only reason y'all want that is because y'all want the most expensive shit. Y'all want all that stuff y'all see Cardi B got. Y'all want to rock the fingernails and the long claws, and this shit is, we don't even like that shit anyway. The eyelashes all done and all that kind of, we don't like that shit. We keep saying we don't like that shit, but then y'all want to sit there and y'all keep on doing the same things over and over again that we don't like, and you want to spend our money to do it. So you wonder why men ain't taking you seriously? Get the fuck out of here, man. The hardest thing for a man to do. My wife said something to me that was, and it's funny. I I get emotional about it. You dig what I'm saying? Because it's really sad how we can't come together. My wife said something to me. She said, it's funny how much a man has to do to get, in her words, to get anything. This woman's watched me work throughout the entire time we've been together. She's seen me at 2 decent jobs. This one included and the one before that. This one better than the last. However, 2 decent jobs. And I ain't really been able to make a whole lot of shape. Except for the fact that I'm willing to overwork to accomplish and accommodate any mistakes I might get made. So if I make a financial error, let's say I take a loan that cost too much because I wasn't privy to the information that I could have got a better deal, which happened with this truck. I outperform it. What she's noticing though is how hard it is for a man to get anything. And you think we're gonna share that little bit of wealth that we get out to your ass so you can go do whatever the hell you want, whenever you want, and still maintain the autonomy, as y'all call it, to go out and have girls' night with your girlfriends, your single hoe friends. No, it's not. It's unfeasible, ladies. It's not something that's gonna happen. Period. Men ain't going for that. Bring down lower, ladies. That's one of the things y'all gonna have to do. Lower the standards. It's guys like me telling guys, don't take that shit. You don't have to, fellas. Look, it's funny. Again, my wife's all on board. It's funny because married women vibe with me. That's why I've been married for so long. Married women vibe with me. What's interesting, me and my wife, we just read, Myron Gaines wrote the book, Why Women Deserve Less. Right? She loved it. She's like, this is all factual. This is all shit that the black community needs to hear. Why women deserve less. It stated many a fact. First time, same thing. When I first started to research Kevin Samuels, she says, man, this is gonna help our marriage. I said, why? Well, because I've never heard a man speak the way you speak. I've not heard one guy, especially not a public figure. One man. She cried when that man died. It got to me too. I ain't cry, but it got to me. Gotta maintain frame. I ain't cry, but it hurt though. It hurt though, because that man was impactful. Kevin Samuels told me that I had something valuable to add to this damn world. And fellas, again, modern women like the ones we're describing, let they ass go. Because they the same ones that had y'all quiet, had us quiet in the first place, average guys. I ain't studying that, man. We gonna be above average at this piece. And if they don't want to go back to being average women, then we not going back to being, then we not gonna sit there and let them make us feel like we're less than average men. How about that? Once they get back to the traditionalism and screw all this modernism and modern feminism. Hey, I'm a feminist too. It's funny, Kevin Samuels was saying this. He said he's a feminist, right? Yeah, me too. Oh, for sure. I believe in supporting women 100% of the way. Part of my ethos, part of my morality. It is a man's obligation to attempt to provide 100% of the resources to his home. And I would argue that it's that a man should be able to do that before he has children. Now, I didn't. But at the same time, well, you grow and you learn. And if I can go back and do it again, I'd have got my resources together prior to having children. It adds stability to the family. It adds comfort to the woman. And one of the, I believe, money fights is the highest reason for divorce, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of the top 3. Get your money together, fellas. Work on you. Get your bodies right. There's a protein shake. I just got done working out in the truck. I do this all the time. I've maintained my physique 5 years running. I still got a 6-pack. I do what I have to do. I research fitness, health. I put it out here to y'all. Y'all ain't watching. I can't get y'all to like and subscribe and share. It's whatever. But one of these days, the messages like this are gonna gain traction. Y'all gonna listen one day, and it's cool, man. Look, by that time, well, competition gonna be stiff. Because once every man gets fed up, well, then you gonna have to scrap with every man. Why not get ahead of the damn game? And that's what I tell fellas. Ladies, if a man's gonna provide 100%, let me give credit to some women. Some women, the message is sinking in. Some ladies are hearing it. And they're backpedaling a little bit off of some of that damn modern feminist bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And they're going and they're listening to guys like me talk. They see that it's a credible message to be delivered by a black man who's supporting the family. It's credible. They're listening. I was having a conversation with one lady. This is somebody close to me, right? Well, I say close to me. She's related to me, but I hadn't seen her in years. We're on down the family tree related, you know. And we were having a conversation. She said she wanted to knock my head off. It was funny. And the conversation was pertaining to, I think she said something like, "Oh, it's men should split. Basically, men should split the obligation with the kids, right? Men should split the children, the time spent actually caring for the children and taking care of them, right?" Okay. And I said, well, what if and she said, because it's difficult, it's hard as a mom, right? And I said, well, what if I said that it's not a man's job? What if I said it's 100% a mom's job to take care of the children? She said she gonna knock my head off. That's what she said. That, and she put a laughing emoji. It was cute. Now that she was being silly and shit. And again, I reciprocated in kind with respectful discourse. So we had a little chat, and I said to her, I was like, well, what if I also told you that it's a man's obligation to always seek to provide 100% resources to the family so that the mother can be what she is, a mother. And of course, if a man runs into hard times physically, then the mother is obligated at that time to pitch in. She can't just bail out. And a father, when noticing that the mother's dealing with a lot of stress with the kids, it's his job then to step in and, hey, give her a few minutes off. Give her an hour or two to go out and do her own thing. Go play, as I call it in my house. Mama, go play, you know. Or help out with the dishes of the kid in the kitchen, which is something I do frequently. I enjoy cooking. When I come home, it's on daddy. You know, all I need is the resources. Did you hit Walmart? Well, if I gotta go to Walmart, come on, mommy. But you know what I'm saying? Hey, but I still, if I gotta go, I gotta go. And I bring the food home and we have a cook and we feast. We enjoy it, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm usually teaching her some new recipe that I discovered off on the truck. You know, ask me about my island, what I call it, the island. Ask me about my island fiesta burger. I'm just saying, like, you know. So, but anyway, I just discovered that a couple days. But anyway, so some of these women are becoming receptive to the message. And I was having this conversation, and that's what I brought to this woman. And she says, I would love that. I don't remember what she said, but she was like, hell yeah, something like that with a lot of E's. Hell yeah, she said, right? And I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, I know you would. I know you'd appreciate that. So if I ever come around a man that you know, help motivate him toward that. If he's a cousin, if he's a brother, ladies, stop trying to detract from the message. The message is the message. The message is the same as being forever. I had to ask that woman today, who's more modern? Y'all saw the thread? Who is more modern? She gonna call me a modern man. Who's more modern, ma'am? Me or you? I fit the description of traditional. I don't know what the hell you talking about. You see what I'm saying? So guys, man, y'all remember, fellas, we gonna be kind, be respectful to these women, unless they come at you sideways. In what case, you got permission to do what the hell, whatever they whatever they bring to you, reflect that shit back. That's what Kevin Samuels said. I tend to agree. That's how I live life. It is what it is. But when women are having respectful discord with you, keep it light, keep it funny, keep it honest. Keep it honest. And let's keep it moving forward, man. See if we can reunite these families. Man, look, man, it's been real. Y'all take it easy, man. Have a great rest of y'all. I'm stuttering. Have a great rest of your week. And yeah, man, if I get some more time, I'm gonna shoot another video for you. But like I said, your boy been working hard. So you know, we're gonna keep these wheels turning out here. And y'all like, subscribe, share. And again, guys, keep it real, keep it 100, keep it honest, and try to maintain a little dignity while you're doing it. Peace.